if you just take one thing from this call, you just need to pick a niche, you need to make it specific, you need to focus on the transformation, and number two, the only thing that you are tracking every day is how many conversations you have with the right avatar. Now, this is important. Inside this conversation, this might get a little bit more complicated, but please guys stick with me. I promise it's gonna make sense. You need two things, a quantity metric and quality metric. Now, here's what I mean. If after this call, you have, in the next week, you have 100 conversations and you start spending 2 hours a day, 4 hours a day on DMing people, on making your YouTube video and encouraging people to DM you on Instagram so you have conversations, or looking at any audience, anyone that you know that you can reach out to have more conversations, or anything that you can do. Before doing that, you need to understand that, of course, there is a quality metric out there, which is who do you have the conversations with? So if you help young Christian men or young Muslim men to overcome porn addiction, and you right now after this call say, oh cool, conversations, and you start going DM your mom, you won't make a sale, right? So quality metric is important, which means who you talk to, right? Sorry if it was too personal, guys. Yeah, I didn't mean it, but the quality metric is important. Who do you talk to? If you go and message your, like, I don't know, 50-year-old woman, and you help men to get fit, doesn't make sense. So again, the quality metric is how many conversations with your ideal avatar. So if you jump from this call and you start messaging random people and etc., it doesn't count. What counts is the right person that you know, okay, this person clearly wants to get to the gym, that's what I help them with, okay, awesome. That's when you know it's the right person. Maximizing that will guaranteed get you to 1K, 10K, even more. Will guaranteed. If you jump out, if after this call, 15-year-old woman sounds cool. Yeah, I meant 50-year-old, but yeah. So anyway, now, basically, if we wrap this up, right? When you have a product, the only thing that you need to focus on, if you follow the 1K roadmap, is the number of the conversations that you can have. So if you woke up and it's the time to work, that's the only thing that you need to track every day. And if you can take one tactical tip besides the ChatGPT, besides this, and you can write this down, is this. I promise you, if you start tracking from today how many quality conversations you had with your ideal avatar, in a sheet, in your notes, and in a physical piece of paper, wherever you can, if you start doing it from today, I promise, in 30 days, you would make your first $1,000 for most of you. Now it depends how hard you work, how clear is your niche, all of this stuff. But I promise, this is a big claim I'm making, guys. If you start tracking and not bullshitting yourself, how many real conversations you have every day with your ideal avatar, by the end of the 30 days, you will make your first $1,000. Use Google Sheets to create a KPI. Exactly. So literally you wake up, and if it's not on your phone, why you are doing this? Let me quickly explain. Why do you guys think you need to do this? Can you put in the chat? Why you need to do this? By the way, guys, this call was supposed to be 1 hour, so I have about maybe 30 more minutes. So do you want us to continue, or do you want to stop? Please let me in the chat so we can know. Is it okay to continue, first of all? I'm not sure. I think Danish is here too, so if you can let us know in the chat. And you guys, do you want this? If yes, please yes. If no, then we can just wrap this up. I have about 30 minutes. We are going to have another meeting. But yeah, I got a little bit too excited. It took a little bit longer. So yes, keep going. Yes, for sure, continue. Yes, continue. Awesome. Great, guys. Then if that's okay, if you want that, we will do that. No problem. Okay, but the question was also, why do you guys think we need to track every day? Can you please put in the chat? Thomas, Yaroslav, Sylvia, Dennis, Vlad, Ivan. Be active, guys. Put in the chat. Yannick, Matt, Saim, Fabian, Toby, Sayoma, Williams, Luca, Yo-Yo, Jojo, Alex, Danish, you too, brother. Kes Blaines, Omar, Rick, if you want to, of course, guys. David, Emmanuel, Walaito, Rick, Santos. test 0. Eyüp or Ayub, Luke, Finn, Polk, Fame, Kepper, Marton, Ashraf, Christian or Christian, Tomek, Josh, Anthony, AG, Jelk Santos, Jesus, Nikita, Nikhil or Nikhil Jackson, Saim, Koa, Elia, and Ismail. Yeah, let me know in the, sorry if I mispronounced any names. Let me know in the chat, guys. Why do you think if you track every day, you will make your first $1,000? Why it's, again, if you don't take action, if you just wake up and put 0, next day 0, next day 0, and say, I tracked, where's my money? You won't make money, guys. But why this will increase the chances of, in my experience, it will probably 10x the chances of you making money. So let's see your answers. You can improve by 1% every day. For reflection against bullshitting oneself. Awesome. Measurability and testing sales tactics. To ensure the process is going to be respected. To understand the ideal avatar more and try to fix their pain as fast as possible. Accountability to have big picture of the growth. Accountability so you find a pattern between conversations and sales. For experience with your dream customer. Accountability just having more chances. Compounding effect, conversion rate to find out the pattern of problem what they are going through. You will see how little you are doing at work more. Love it, Jackson. Volume negates like, love it. So all of this was, most of this, okay, 99% of this was correct. The one way also to say this, which is similar to what you guys said, is what doesn't get measured doesn't get improved. What doesn't get measured doesn't get improved. You can also write this down, Sour, if you want to. And I can tell you from my experience. Last year, we were making 10K a month with one of my coaching businesses for like 2-3 months in a row. And we wanted to scale to 30K a month, 40K a month, 50K a month. And we were plateaued, right? And we couldn't do that. And one of the main things that helped us to grow, was starting tracking the amount of calls that we booked. So before that, I wasn't tracking how many sales calls I'm booking, right? We're booking that with Instagram. We have grown our Instagram last year. So I wasn't doing that. But once I started measuring that every day, and I said, oh, today I booked 2 calls. Today I booked 5 calls. Today I booked 10 calls. Next day I booked 0 calls, 1 call, 2 calls, 3 calls. I noticed why I'm not making any progress. What am I not doing that is not booking calls? This is a good question. What's the number one thing that if I focus on, it will make everything else easier or unnecessary to book the calls? So what is the 20-80 principle? What is the one thing that if I do, posting that YouTube video that does the CTA to book calls with you, being active in Skool communities, DMing people on Instagram, whatever, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever traffic source you are using, right? What's that one thing that if you do that, will book you the most amount of your calls, right? I focused on that, right? Which in our case was, funnily enough, call to actions on our Instagram, in that case to talk to us. So I was posting Instagram stories. I was growing my audience and saying, hey, if you want to achieve this transformation, this result, DM me this word and let's talk. They were DMing me. And the more I was doing it and the more people were DMing me and the more time I was spending on talking to people, the more calls I was making. And once I started tracking it every day, I understood that this leads to this, and I started taking it more seriously, and I started, funnily enough, this might be a little bit more confusing, but I started doing more of these that helps me to improve this number that I'm tracking every day, and therefore, guess what? When I started tracking it and trying to improve that number, I started doing the shit that helps me to improve that number of having more conversation, more booked calls every day, and through that, we went from 10K a month to about 30 to 50K a month, I think in 3 months, right, last year. Maybe 2.5 months, I don't remember exactly, but that was one of the main things that helped. Now, a lot of these trainings are available for free with all of the templates, AI tools, private feedback for you to be able to implement in your business. And guess what? It's absolutely free. So if you're interested, the link will be down below in the description and you can apply to join there.